All right, let's
Wow.
do this. What's
Right.
going on?
We're going to do
Take
some
it.
karaoke.
What's that?
I thought this one was an actor from Game of Thrones. So when I met him in the lobby, I said, "Oh, hi. Well, hello there, you strapping, gorgeous, blonde-haired, blue-eyed fellow.
Wow.
Are
this
you
is
from
a
Game
Me
of
Too
Thrones?
already.
This is much nicer than Marcelo Hernandez shouting at me for 10 minutes.
Look at the face.
Yeah.
He passed the hair.
She told me I could pass for a Viking, so it wasn't all that. But anyway, before we get into
You get it, ladies.
before we get into Game of Thrones, I mean Ted, let's watch a clip of Ted.
I'm listening to Touch His Dick and Solid Urines, and I'm just watching her. And I'm so sorry that I just made you do it twice.
Oh, it's so good.
Forgive my sloppy ass.
Solid urines.
Oh, you can tell it's the end of the day, can't you? I was going to ask Alanna, how on earth do you keep a straight face doing that? But I'm not sure you necessarily always do.
Well, from the jump, when I was reading the sides and I put myself on tape, I remember thinking to myself, this is so absurd that the only way anyone will be able to get away with this is if we really ground it. And then when I met Seth, he and I had a phone conversation, and I said, you know, if you took out all of the comedy, this is like, you know, this is a dramatic theater piece at the Roundabout, you know, Arthur Miller play. But if you treat it that way, then I think it might be funnier. So, lo and behold.
Is that the case, Seth?
1,000%. Yes. Yes, yes. The character of Susan was originally in the pilot based on my Aunt Jeannie,
Right.
who was the classic example that I can use to describe exactly who she was in one little incident was we were watching a Best of John Belushi video at my cousin's house, and she walked in and looks at the TV, and for some inexplicable reason goes, "Now, was that before he died?" One of many. And the most lovely, sincere, big-hearted woman you've ever met.
Yes.
That's Susan.
Because you clearly love this bear, but actually the thing that really makes Ted are the actors.
Yeah, I mean, that was I'm a big fan of ensemble pieces, just from a writing standpoint, where you can lean into one particular actor or character in any given episode. It just kind of opens up your toolbox as a writer, and that was this show's design from the get-go.
Yeah. Is there a line you won't cross?
I mean, I'm drinking on stage right now, so no.
There's vodka in there.
Yeah, I can bet.
No, you know, look, there's a process that has been in place for many years with sitcoms that ensures that doesn't happen. You have the writer's room, and if you have the right complement of writers and you pitch a line that is over the top, too much for TV, it will be met with dead silence. And if it makes it past that roadblock, you have a table read, and at that point it will for sure be met with dead silence. And if it makes it past that, you then have standards and practices at the network that will cut you off. So it's a safe place.
Yeah, you certainly get away with some stuff. There's a line in season 2, if JFK had been in the car shirtless, he'd be alive today. I think about that line more often than I should.
I think it's the motivation behind the joke. If it feels like it's coming from the character themselves, that it feels like this is something that Ted would say because he doesn't know any better.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's how Archie Bunker sustained 9 seasons of All in the Family, is that he just didn't know any better. I think if there's a perceived meanness that is coming from behind the curtain, it's different, and we try to avoid that.
Yeah. Let's talk about AI Bill Clinton. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting Bill Clinton to be yelling at a fast food or a donut employee at a donut store. You've got form. You clearly, you know, on Family Guy, you know, Bubba has turned up a few times, including in bed with Lois. You've got a sort of Bill Clinton kink, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of avenues for comedy. I mean, that was a challenging one because on Family Guy, obviously, it's 2D, it's hand drawn. People will forgive a lot if the likeness isn't perfect, but in live action, it's a little different, and we didn't want to do the, we tried prosthetics, we tried CGI, we tried all the normal avenues, and it just felt kind of fake in this day and age. And as a last resort, we tried this deep fake, and it worked great. Yeah. And it's really the only way the joke, I think, could sustain for as long as it did.
Has the technology's got to a point now where you can do that? Maybe even in season one, the technology might.
I don't think we could have done it in season one. No, yeah. Maybe we could have, but I would doubt it.
That's how fast it evolves.
Yeah, it's gone quick. Alanna, you've talked about you have to take out the embarrassment chip when working on Ted. Sure. Talk me through that. What does that mean?
No, the embarrassment chip has to be just left in the trunk of the car in the parking lot at Universal before you walk in. Everything is on the table. Yeah. I mean, everything. So
you don't have an embarrassment chip?
I really don't. You know what? Let's just call a spade a spade. It's been missing since I was a kid. Solid urine. Look at that. But
this is you in person.
But seriously, no, it's when you're in this world, and this is to me a dream come true because I have never ever been able to play a character, sustain a character on a series this long with this much absurdity. I mean, it's so much fun to be a weirdo. You get paid
I've seen
for it.
Euphoria.
I mean, but that's a little depressing. But
yeah, there's the banana scene, which I think is season one, and then we see a lot. Scott Grimes' ass in your face a fair bit.
It all sounds so benign when you say it.
In my
the banana scene, Scott Grimes' ass.
It's so glamorous. Viking.
Bottom. You see his bottom quite a lot.
This poor woman.
What's it?
I'm so sorry.
She just walks off stage. No, come back. We're sorry. God. Go straight to HR.
I was about to say, HR's going to get a few calls. So what's Seth really like to work for?
Seth he is that best friend that you had in elementary school where you would just send him a little note and it would just say fart on it with the F backward, And then Seth would go, just write dick, and then send it back, and you'd never get caught. But
what elementary school did you go
elementary
to?
School. That, exactly. Well, I have an 8-year-old. He does that stuff all the time. But he and I have the same sense of humor. We're from the same generation. I was a latchkey kid. I was raised by What's Happening, Wait Till Your Father Gets Home, and the Carol Burnett Show. Oh, and the Benny Hill Show, of course. So we really have that same point of reference. So when he does, make a funny, I'm right there in the front row cheering him on because I get it.
But you're trying not to break, I'm assuming.
But you try not to break. No. You've got to think about, sick puppies and things like that. I've got tricks.
You have a trick.
I've got tricks. You got to think of solid urine when you're not sorry. No, but you've got to think about serious things.
She gets paid double when you say that.
Yeah. It just makes the stakes really high. And I have a child. So to play a mom, it really was that simple.
Has he seen any of Ted yet? It's not as hard as it looks. You said he's 8. Has he watched Ted?
No, but I've given him the bear. He's madly in love with this little doll. And I think he's going to be just in therapy for the next 15 years as soon as I show him the series.
He's probably...
I'm glad I have SAG insurance.
He's probably unaware of how how foul-mouthed he is.
Absolutely.
Seth, I was sad to see that you don't think there'll be a season 3 because of how expensive this show is. I'm assuming it's the bear the slow motion.
And that's why you're all here. If you could we have a bucket right there. You give us whatever you...
Because you clearly love this character. You clearly love this
My
world.
publicists have told me to stop saying that. So I'm going to stop saying it. So yeah, no, it is in reality it is really up to Peacock with their vast amounts of their big Scrooge McDuck money vault that they dive into every day in their pajamas.
Yeah.
It's really up to them. I mean, I think all of us in some form or other, whether it's a season 3 or a direct to Peacock feature with this cast, which is something I think we'd all be up for. It's all on the table. It's really up to them.
That sounds like something you're actually thinking about.
Thought about it, yeah.
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 The wonderful thing about a character-driven show is that the possibilities are endless, right?
Yes, although you have slightly painted yourself into a corner.
I know.
I'm going to spoil the ending of season 2 a little bit because we get this incredible moment where John is going into the gym to essentially become Mark Wahlberg, someone who is so muscular that people who love me are concerned. Which,
yeah, Max has said if the studio pays for a nutritionist and a trainer, that he will make that match.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can always send him to junior college. Send the bear to Harvard. Legally blonde all over again. Woo!
What is it about the TED world that you love? And you're doing an animated series as well. That's
what?
You're doing an animated series of TED. I hope
Yes,
you are.
we are.
It was announced.
Yes.
What is it about the world of TED that you love so much that you would willing to return to?
I mean, ironically, TED did start as an animated pitch, and it emerged at, ultimately as a feature with Mark Wahlberg. But so it's only fitting that it all comes back around. But yeah, the animated show, which is the first season of which is getting close to completion as far as the production cycle, run by Brad Walsh and Paul Corrigan, who ran Modern Family, who also ran the live action show with me, who were brilliant. And it takes place after the events of the last movie. So it's Mark Wahlberg, it's Amanda Seyfried, Jessica Barth, it's all the folks from the original films. And it's really funny. They've just done a phenomenal job. And it's one of the most joyful parts of my position at this point in my career is to get something off the ground and then kind of watch it take shape under different stewardship. And Brad and Paul have turned this thing into something that is fun for me to watch.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's on giving.
Yeah, I can imagine. And look, fun for us to watch as well. So please give it up to Seth and Alanna.